This is Monkey World, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. With every animal comes a story. Some funny, some shocking. Dramas great and small. Today on Monkey Life, baby orangutan Jolie arrives at the park from Moscow. And she isn't the only new arrival, as orangutan Roro gives birth.
She's good, she's calm. And it's a girl.
There are over 160 primates at Monkey World, including 59 chimpanzees. The dynamics of each group are very carefully managed. Sometimes the park decides to move the apes and monkeys into different groups, so their own unique needs can be met more easily. Today, in Hernanya's group, 9-year-old Cookie will be helping out 2 chimps who recently moved in. Seamus and Tutti. It was time for them to experience a larger group and to start meeting their new family one by one.
To get started today, we'll probably try and pick somebody a little smaller and a little more mellow rather than bringing Hananya straight in on them. So we're thinking Cookie because she's quite a mellow individual, so I mean that might be a good opportunity. She won't be high pressure, she won't be in their face, and hopefully Seamus will behave himself and Tootie will be interested in the new lady. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I think it's a good choice to start with.
As always, the animal manager Jeremy is on hand to keep an eye on things and to give Seamus cuddles when required. Cookie chooses to stay high up so she can see everything that's going on. But she's greedy and can't resist the treats that are on offer lower down.
Hello, sweetheart.
It's still a bit too daunting for Tootie, so she's taking refuge next door.
Where are we going? Let's go see Cookie. Let's go see Cookie. What she's got in that box. What's Cookie got in the box? Let's check Cookie out. What she got in the box? Not much.
Seamus is building his confidence and feels brave enough to join in. Cookie allows the cheeky boy to take some of her breakfast. This is a big step towards building their relationship. Tootie is still feeling nervous, but Seamus is happy and relaxed and goes off for a celebratory swing. Cookie decides that if the new girl Tootie won't come to her, she'll just have to pay her a visit.
Go get him.
And it's reassuring hugs all round.
Oh, nice one. Good girl.
This is going really well. Tootie's still reluctant to come out of the bedroom, but Cookie keeps going into the bedroom, and clearly there's no riot going on in there, so it can't be too bad. Seamus is, as you can see, playing with me more than Cookie, but nevertheless he is having periodic plays with her. So hopefully we can leave these guys together now, and then if all goes well, we'll introduce somebody else tomorrow.
When Seamus and Tootie moved from the nursery, 2 other boys moved too, Charlie and Gypsy. They were becoming too boisterous, so they were moved to join the boys in the Bachelor pad. This morning, Charlie and Gypsy are still getting to know each other in the Bachelor group bedroom. Gypsy is finding it quite hard to settle, but Charlie just takes it all in his stride. His calm foster mum Sally in the nursery group was a good influence on him.
We found out very quickly that Charlie is he just doesn't care where he goes. He's not bothered. As long as there's somewhere for him to have a little fun, he's okay. He was really very much ready to leave Sally. He's the real hooligan. He's got what it takes to be with the boys. So he was ready to leave Sally's. It was becoming very difficult there. That was a critical situation. That's a nursery. It it wasn't going to work out. He had to go. He's very happy. There's another boy around for him to play with. He thinks that's terrific. Gypsy, that's another whole story. We had to take Gypsy out. He was acting like a bit of a fool, a hooligan, and it was never going to settle down. He was disruptive in the group. He had to go, so he's not so happy. It's gonna take time. You know, it might be really another whole week before Gypsy chills out.
Monkey World has the honor of being the European creche for baby orangutans. And this morning, after a 6-hour journey from Russia, the park welcomes a new arrival, baby girl Jolie. Her keepers have accompanied her.
Just pop that back there. Okay,
Oh, welcome.
Hi.
Come on.
Yeah.
A few days ago, keeper Mike traveled to Moscow Zoo to get to know Jolie. She was shy at first, but eventually warmed to Mike. It was a great relief, as he would be her new carer at Monkey World.
She's a pretty little girl. Yes. She's a beautiful little girl.
Since Alison's been through the wars to bring this little girl in. And Alison managed Russian bureaucrats and English bureaucrats of all different types. And in fact, it wasn't until 24 hours ago that we actually got the final okay that she could get on that plane and she could arrive. So I don't know if they've been aware of it, but for us, it's been the most amazing, stressful thing that we've ever done. There's gonna be a lot going on in the next few days.
3-year-old female Xiao Ning, who can be a bit selfish, isn't too keen on saying hi.
She put her hand right out to her.
But the new girl has definitely caught the eye of little boy Aris.
If you want to come in here.
Saying goodbye is always difficult. For the last 8 months, the Moscow zookeepers have hand-reared Jolie because she was rejected by her mum. Now they're leaving. Jolie is obviously cautious.
It's okay. No, you go.
But moving her to Monkey World is definitely the best option, as she'll be able to grow up with her own kind. But for now, Mike will give her the support she needs to settle into her new home.
Yeah, she's good. She's gone quiet.
No problem, she's good.
It's gone really, really well. This is the first time that she's been without her favourite keepers, so it's fantastic. And she has now decided I'm a good guy, which is absolutely fantastic. And that is just wonderful. I'm not the bad guy quite so much now. And when they do have their sort of favourite keepers and the favourite keepers go and get out of sight, then of course they want someone to hold. They're still tiny, tiny babies. And she's now decided that I'm quite a good guy.
Over the next few days, Jolie will get used to all the different sights, sounds and smells of her new surroundings. Then it will be time to meet her new housemates. But now, after a very long day, it's bedtime.
There's your favourite cushion. Okay, down you go. Good girl.
A great British summer. Rain, rain, and more rain. Hananya's group of 18 are at least trying to have some fun. The wet stuff gives them a whole new set of challenges, putting their incredible balancing skills to the test. In the wild, chimps in their native Africa often get soaked in the rainy season, but because they can problem solve, they will often use leaves as umbrellas. At the park, alpha male Hananya isn't too keen on getting wet either. And unfortunately for him, it doesn't show any signs of clearing. Most of the chimps aren't bothered by this downpour, but it seems to be having an effect on the girls. And Honey is in a bad mood. Jess has clearly done something to upset her, and although Jess may be older than Honey, Upsetting her when her temper's already flared could lead to repercussions. Just like humans, chimps show emotions such as joy, sadness, fear and anger. By baring her teeth and screaming, Honey is showing she's scared and angry. Dominant female Cherry isn't interested in their petty squabble. Taking advantage of the natural water supply is much more appealing. Honey is still in a bad mood and continues to show Jess she's angry. She's developed a lot over the last year and has attitude to equal her growth spurt. Each chimp makes their own unique call, known as a panhoot. As this is just a squabble and Honey is still grumpy, no one responds. Marjoline is being very clever. She uses some wood wool as a sponge to soak up all the moisture. And as for stroppy Honey, shutting the rain and world out is her best option for today. But she might want to keep one eye open just in case Jess comes back for round 3. Monkey World 8 Rescue Centre sent Mike on another mission while he was in Moscow collecting Jolie, the baby orangutan. The park had received several reports of primates being used in the tourist industry in Moscow, so Mike investigated and brought back footage of his findings.
Just right into that guy. Well, it's terrible. It's just like any other, whether it be a beach photographer or anybody else who sort of steals primates from the wild and uses them to work for photography. The animals suffer terribly.
I'm not surprised.
We've always known that there were primates being worked at Red Square. I have some photographs of some chimpanzees that I've seen there, 2 or 3 different individuals. You know, there was a baboon and a couple of macaques there on that day that Mike was there, plus an eagle of some kind. Now, I think it's not uncommon. The zoo, when I spoke to them about it, said that they were aware of many chimps being worked in and around Moscow, and they'd like to try and do something about it, but they don't know what to do.
It's a worldwide problem, and Monkey World got involved in the 1980s when hundreds of baby chimps were smuggled into Spain for an abusive life, posing as beach photographers' props.
For $8,000.
After tirelessly campaigning, this practice was eventually banned. In 2002, Alberto, the last beach photographer's chimp from Spain, was given sanctuary at the park. 30 chimps have been rescued from the European tourist trade, including lovable Charlie, foster mum Sally, and the impressive alpha male Paddy. Unfortunately, the exploitation of primates still continues in Moscow.
What you're looking at is pain.
Yeah,
a lot of
suffering.
pain. A lot of pain. A lot of suffering.
The other important part to understand about it is who is actually owning these chimps and working them. Are they random individuals who happen to get themselves an exotic pet and this is what they now do with it? If you start dealing with people working in an organized way, smuggling animals and then using them for photography, you're talking about dealing with an organization that might be involved then with the smuggling of the primates, and then that's a whole different kettle of fish and potentially a very dangerous one.
It's a big thing, and really the only way it's going to get resolved, if the government was interested, and Moscow Zoo really would have to take a big part of that. If they're keen for us to work with them, then we're not going to say no, and they are. So it's on the cards, I think.
In Hananya's group, Cookie has returned from meeting Seamus and Tootie, and she's getting rather a lot of attention. At 9 years old, she's just starting to enter sexual maturity, and with this comes a rise in popularity with the boys. Usually, it's just the alpha male who has mating privileges. They would normally stick close to the female, but reluctant boss Hananya doesn't seem too bothered, and the other males are blatantly showing Cookie attention. It's a sign of Hananya's constant struggle as leader. His group are showing him no respect. They're not even trying to hide their displays of affection. Cookie is a stubborn girl, But her swelling is just too much to resist, and Simon will keep pestering until he gets his own way. The 13-year-old is not the most gentle of males, and he will do whatever it takes. Much more of a gentleman is second in command Tico. Grooming is probably their most important social behaviour. It helps maintain or improve friendships and calms nervous or tense individuals. For Cookie, being sexually receptive means lots of extra attention, but the expression on her face suggests she is far from enjoying the experience. Cookie is not a very friendly or approachable chimp, but that doesn't seem to make her any less attractive to the boys. Now it's low-ranking male Arthur's turn. He isn't quite as mature as Tico and Hananya, and his courting skills need developing. At 14 years old, Arthur is capable of reproduction, but it will be a few more years before he becomes socially mature. Even further down the maturity ladder is the group's silliest chimp, 13-year-old Shimak. But leapfrogging is not quite what Cookie had in mind. Despite his silly behaviour, Cookie is showing willing and presenting herself to Shimak. He seems to have a mating ritual style all of his own, but it works for Cookie, so it looks like this courtship could go on for quite some time. Over in the office, Alison is on mum duty. Baby woolly monkey Julio is now 2 months old and flourishing.
Julio is very important, and we have gone to that extra length for him. I mean, we have hand-reared baby apes and other baby monkeys before, but in particular, Julio being a woolly monkey, this is perhaps more delicate, more focused, and more important to us because woolly monkeys are so rare. They rarely successfully give birth in captivity. I believe that only 1 or 2, if that, have ever been hand-reared successfully in captivity. I only know of 1. I believe Julio's the second worldwide to have ever been successfully hand-reared. I think you can see he's grown a lot. He's about almost 600 grams now, so pretty much double his birth weight. Developing his hand-eye coordination, which is getting pretty good, becoming more stable on his feet, getting around now, starting to sort of tear up my desk, and you know, he requires a lot of attention and effort now as he becomes more mobile. It's, you know, harder work, but we're really pleased for him. And, you know, touch wood, I think that unless there's any unforeseen either colds or flus or, you know, something like that, that we're sort of out of the woods. I think he's going to be okay.
Julio is developing well. The park prefers primate babies to grow up with their mothers, but because Julio's mum abandoned him and he was being held by his dad, he had to be hand-reared. In the wild, woolly monkey babies will spend the first few months on their mum's abdomens. If Julio was still with his mum, he would just be starting to leave her to explore his surroundings, just as he does in Alison's office.
As soon as he is able to feed himself, I'll give him straight back to one of the groups of woolly monkeys. And I think as soon as he gets a chance to be with the other woolly monkeys, they'll just scoop him up and love him as much as we do.
Interacting so closely with Alison is hugely important for Julio's development. And it's surprising how he can be kept occupied.
Julio's found is that Jim's hair is particularly good for grabbing hold of and snuffling and shaking hello. Yes, I know, my hair's not quite as good, but it's pretty good. But Jim's hair is better, yes. And it's quite important that he learns all of these things because when he does go back to the woolly monkeys, that's all natural behavior that, you know, when they go up to him and snuffle hello, and Susie sort of looks at him and shakes her head and says hello, he's gonna know exactly what to do. He's gonna sort of snuffle hello and shake his head back.
This afternoon in the orangutan enclosure, there's incredible news. 18-year-old Roro has just given birth. This baby is the 4th orang born to the park's endangered species breeding program. The animal manager, Jeremy, has an exceptional relationship with the orangs. Because of this, he has been able to go in and film this fantastic moment. So far, things seem to be going well, and the newborn certainly has a healthy set of lungs.
It's a girl. She's cleaned him up, and her up. Yeah, she's cleaned up the center. I'm just sat here with her. She's good, she's calm. She's comfortable. She wasn't calm last time, she was all bent out of shape, you know, and, you know, so far she's together. No, I'm hopeful.
Roro clearly only has eyes for her daughter. Compared to her last attempt at motherhood, all the signs look positive. The little one is hungry. As well as sucking on Mum's lips, she's trying to search for the nipple. 3 years ago, Roro rejected her last baby, Xiao Ning. Luckily, Xiao Ning was successfully hand-reared by Keeper Mike and now lives full-time in the nursery. The next 24 hours will be crucial for Roro and her new infant. They'll be closely monitored to make sure the newborn feeds and is well cared for by Mum. Next time, the park's most lovable character, Charlie, undergoes emergency dental surgery. And will it continue to be happy families for Roro and her new baby daughter?
You're talking about going in.
Yeah,
so you reckon if you go in and she's not showing interest, you might be able to do something?
There's a chance.